Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling Discussions. On today's episode, going to be talking about last night's Monday Night Raw as well as predictions and thoughts on tonight's NXT. Now, I'm going to start with last night's Monday Night Raw. Last night's Monday Night Raw was pretty big in my opinion. We had some pretty huge matches, some great matches if you ask me, and we had some really great segments as well. And we're going to get right into it, starting with the first segment of the night, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Bianca Belair. Now, Becky Lynch and Bayley obviously having a steel cage match last week in the main event, Lita returning, costing Bayley the match, pure chaos if you will, and Becky and Bayley still going at it on the microphone last night. Those two are so good. They have such a great chemistry when it comes to talking on the mic against each other. They can roast each other for days and really entertain an audience with that, and I love it. I love every second of it. On top of that, we saw Bianca Belair come out. Adam Pearce was already out, and well, both women wanted to be added to the Elimination Chamber match. And Adam Pearce had decided that he was going to make a triple threat match between Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. If Bianca won, neither of them were going to be added to the Elimination Chamber match. However, if Becky Lynch or Bayley won, then they would be added, one of them. And that match was the main event, which I will talk about when we get to that. But that entire segment was fairly interesting. It's safe to say Bianca Belair is not scared of competition. In fact, she loves it. She enjoys it. She she asks for it. She wants competition, and I understand that, especially when you're champion. She is the embodiment of what a fighting champion is, and I'm all for that. Absolutely. Now, we also saw the Street Profits take on the Judgment Day in tag team action. Now, obviously, one member of each team is going to the men's elimination chamber, Montez Ford and Damian Priest. Now, we got a little preview of these two going at it, which I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of in the actual chamber match come this Saturday, which is getting closer and closer. And, I said this in the last episode, I'll say it again. Stay tuned for Saturday's episode. It will contain predictions and my thoughts for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, so please stay tuned for that, as well as Sunday's episode, which will contain my thoughts on the results of the Chamber pay-per-view. Now, all that being said, this is all around very entertaining, this match. Street Profits and Judgment Day are a team where they are so unstoppably entertaining. We've seen them face off a couple times, and it's like just that one team the Street Profits can't seem to put away sometimes, right? It's that they are each other's limiting factor. Like, these two can go to war for an Iron Man match. They can go to war for as long as they possibly want, and I feel as though we will never truly be able to find out who's the best tag team out of the two. Now, the match did end with the Judgment Day getting the victory. However, it was also with the interference of Dominic Mysterio. And again, Montez Ford and Damian Priest really showed themselves out in this match. They really did phenomenal. I can't wait to see them in the Elimination Chamber, especially Damian Priest, especially Montez Ford. I think both are phenomenal. I can't wait to see Damian Priest use his strength, his aggressiveness, his speed, his power, all of that. And I can't wait to see Montez Ford use his speed, his quickness, his agility, his high-flying capabilities inside such a match such as the Elimination Chamber. I think everyone will enjoy the hell out of that. I know for a fact that I will enjoy the hell out of that. Now, we also have a title match. Sorry. I'm losing track of thought for a moment there. We also saw after the match the Judgment Day attacking the Street Profits, and then that is when we proceeded to see Edge and Beth Phoenix come out to the ring. Edge quick to take it to Finn Balor. Damian Priest taking it to Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins getting back up, trying to take it to Dominic Mysterio. And then we saw Beth Phoenix try to hit the is it the Glam Slam? I forget what it's called, but trying to hit her signature move on Dominic Mysterio when Rhea Ripley attacked from behind and hit the Riptide. Now, obviously, we are less than a week away from seeing Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor take on Edge and Beth Phoenix. And that is by far going to be an incredible match. Everyone has been wanting to see Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix collide. And I personally can't wait for that because the last time we saw Beth Phoenix in the ring, she fought Maurice. And no offense to Maurice, but she is not anywhere near that of the capability of Beth Phoenix. Rhea Ripley will make for an entertaining match against someone like Beth Phoenix. Rhea Ripley will make for an entertaining opponent against someone like Beth Phoenix. And I can't wait to have that match in front of me this Saturday. Now, we also got quite a bit involving the let me see if I can remember. We saw the contract signing between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. And that contract signing was not what I had at all expected it to be in my personal, for me, to be quite honest with you. It was not at all what I had expected. It surprised me, actually. I don't know if Bobby Lashley's turning heel. I don't know what his game plan is here. But when he was out there, he was getting what chance? He was getting boos. And it was that constant idea of like, it was like what I said in yesterday's episode. I don't understand what they're doing with the Bobby Lashley character right now. However, what I can say is that Bobby Lashley had us all fooled. Bobby Lashley, obviously the almighty, he was not going to have us wait for his managers to look over it, his representatives, his lawyers, his businessmen, his assistants. No. Brock Lesnar had said to Bobby, if you're not going to sign this contract, I'm going to come down there and I'm going to make you sign it. And Brock Lesnar laid waste to every single security guard Bobby Lashley had out there. But then Bobby Lashley laid waste to Brock Lesnar, signed the contract, and left. Well, he didn't even leave. He put on a show for the audience. He did his usual taunt, and there was a mixed reaction. There were more boos than there were cheers. I'm just going to say that now. And I think it's because of the simple fact that Brock Lesnar is the fan favorite in this rivalry. He always has been. When the Bobby Who chant started, it was always Brock Lesnar. Going into Crown Jewel, he got cheered in Saudi Arabia, not Bobby Lashley. Brock was the one that was getting cheered in Saudi Arabia. At the Royal Rumble, for the most part, yes, Bobby was getting cheered here and there. But at the same time, fans wanted to see Brock stay in longer. Fans wanted to see Brock and Bobby really go at it, and not just an elimination so quick, you know what I mean? But all that being said, this is looking like it's going to be a great card for Elimination Chamber with all the matches we're seeing, all the segments we're seeing. And that was just one of the great segments, which I will get into the second one in a minute here after I talk about another match we saw between Michin and Piper Niven. Now, obviously, Piper Niven, the formerly known as Dewdrop, before she got her name back, her original name, when she first came into the Mae Young Classic back in 2017. Actually, it might have been 2018. But nonetheless, Piper Niven has been back since the Royal Rumble, and she put on an interesting match with Michin last night. Obviously, last week, she did not get the victory. She is not going to Elimination Chamber. However, she did try to take her frustrations out on that of Candice LeRae, Michin getting involved. Last night, those two squared off, and Michin held her own for a little while. However, Piper Niven used her strength, used her force, used her brutality, and she got to kind of show herself off, which I think was really cool. I think it's really cool to see Piper Niven kind of get that opportunity to show her strength, show her capabilities in the ring, and then eventually make her way down the line to get a title shot, which I am hoping will be eventually sometime in the year of 2023, because Piper Niven does severely deserve that, absolutely. Now, this is probably my favorite segment of the night, due to the simple fact that the promos that were cut by both men were beautiful. They were incredible. You could not fathom them if you wanted to. And those promos were done by none other than the challenger going into his match against Roman Reigns in Elimination Chamber, Sami Zayn, and the man who's going to the main event of WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes. Now, Sami Zayn cut a beautiful promo about, like, I don't know if I'm going to win at Elimination Chamber. Do I think I can? Do I think I have what it takes to beat Roman? Do I think I have what it takes to be champion? Yes. Yes, I do. But do I think that I can beat Roman in Elimination Chamber? I don't know. And Sami was questioning himself. And Cody Rhodes was the guy saying, I want you at WrestleMania. Like, before he left the ring, he looked Sami in the eye and he said, I don't want to see you next Monday, because I want to see you at WrestleMania. That is what I am looking forward to. That is what I am looking towards, is seeing you at WrestleMania in the main event. And Cody Rhodes had said, you don't know? You don't know if you're going to win? Let me tell you. Let me tell you right now. You are the only guy that caused destruction, that caused chaos, that caused a fracture in the bloodline. And he motivated Sami Zayn. Cody Rhodes single-handedly motivated Sami Zayn. He called out Sami Zayn. He said exactly what Michael Cole said. He said, finish the story. And he said, Sami, you need to finish your story. And the emotion that was given by both men, the intensity that was given by both men was phenomenal, was incredible. And that is the kind of heat that Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes have. Since Sami Zayn has betrayed the bloodline, since Sami Zayn has been on his own from the bloodline, his promos have been incredible. His promos have had so much fire, so much heat to them, so much emotion to them. Cody Rhodes, every single promo he's cut since being in the WWE again has been incredibly emotional, incredibly well thought out and well written and well spoken. Cody Rhodes is literally a godsend on the microphone. He is literally the smartest man when it comes to talking on that microphone. Because the way he fathoms his words, the way he can turn his words, they are so interesting. The way he cuts a promo is like poetry, and it's beautiful in every possible way. And his match, whether it be against Roman Reigns, whether it be against Sami, I know that story going into that match is going to be absolutely one of the best stories imaginable, because of the work that both wrestlers will put in due to their promos, due to their matches, due to everything. And honestly, I gotta tell you, last night really made me question who's gonna win, Roman or Sami. And I'm gonna talk about it more in Saturday's episode, but man, last night's segment was so beautiful, it was so well done. Major congratulations to Sami Zayn, major congratulations to Cody Rhodes. Both deserve a pat on the back, both deserve a golden medal. That was literally the most beautiful promo I've seen in WWE since Vince McMahon's been gone. Not even. That was just one of the most beautiful promos I've seen in so long. Cody Rhodes is incredible on that microphone, and I've seen a lot of great promos in my day, especially since Vince McMahon has been gone. But, man, this one just takes the cake. This one was just beautiful in every possible way. And even afterwards, we saw Cody Rhodes go to the back, and we saw Baron Corbin doing an interview, and a lot of fans have been, taking to social media saying that Triple H has been dropping the ball on Baron Corbin. People want the lone wolf character of Baron Corbin to come back. And I'm not one to disagree. I would love to see the lone wolf return to the squared circle. I would love to see that gimmick, that character, make a comeback. But are we ever going to see that? I don't know. And on top of that, he was talking crap about Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, they had an impromptu match. They had a match that was not scheduled, a match that was not supposed to happen. Now, obviously, this is storyline, but nonetheless. I mean, Cody Rhodes wrestled in suits. He wrestled in a suit. He wrestled in suit pants. He proceeded to win the match, beat Baron Corbin, and once again call his shot, call his ticket to WrestleMania. This guy, you can't convince me that one way or another, whether Sammy wins at Chamber or Cody wins at WrestleMania, you can't convince me that by the end of WrestleMania, we will not see a new champion and we will no longer see Roman Reigns as champion. You cannot convince me by that time WrestleMania is said and done and there is no more WrestleMania season, you can't convince me that Roman Reigns will still be undisputed champion. Now, these were all incredible. The matches have been incredible so far. The wrestling, the segments, all of it just intrigues me beyond a mile. Intrigues me so much. I love every second of it. And after we saw Cody Rhodes take on Baron Corbin, we saw a 6-woman tag match between Asuka, Carmella, Nikki Cross, taking on Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Natalya. Now, my prediction was wrong. I said it was going to be Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, and Natalya. However, the victors were Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Carmella. However, that being said, I was right in saying one thing, and that was that this match was pure chaos. This match was pure chaotic energy through and through. It was a brawl. It was brutal. We even saw Asuka turn on her on her tag team partners. She started taking out Carmella. She started taking out Nikki Cross. She started taking out everyone. She was a one-woman wrecking crew, and she proceeded to make Liv Morgan tap out in the center of that ring. If that doesn't, scream to you that maybe Liv Morgan might not win, that maybe Asuka might win at Chamber, then I don't know what else will, because Asuka was a one-woman wrecking crew. She took it to Raquel Rodriguez, she took it to Natalya, she took it to Liv Morgan, she took it to Nikki Cross and Carmella, who, like I said earlier, were her tag team partners. Like, how intense is that? How incredible do you have to be in that ring to be able to take on 5 other women single-handedly and still get the victory? It was incredible. All that being said, I'm not saying Asuka's going to win at the Elimination Chamber. I will give my prediction on that in Saturday's episode. But nonetheless, Asuka is looking straight fire going into this Chamber match, as she has been since she came into the Royal Rumble with this new persona, and it's beautiful in every possible way. Her wrestling style has improved. Her entrance has improved. The way she carries herself in that ring has improved. It's just like seeing Asuka, come into the main roster for the first time all over again, and I'm all for it. Absolutely. Now, after that, we also saw, obviously, a little bit more out of Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, trying to get a match, trying to get a shot. And I don't know, she's demanding respect, if you will. And I don't believe Chelsea Green deserves respect, especially after the terrible match especially after the terrible thing she had, the terrible night she had at the Royal Rumble. She hasn't gotten a single win so far, but nonetheless, she wants respect put on her name. Now, this was another great segment, in my opinion. It was something that was entertaining, something that was funny. Maxine Dupree, the maximum male models of SmackDown, came to Monday Night Raw. They looked at Otis, and they said, "We want you." And that's interesting, because Otis is Otis. But could you imagine Otis in a new persona? Could you imagine Otis as a maximum male model? Better yet, could you imagine what would happen if maybe Chad Gable and Otis start to get in some tension with one another? If maybe we were finally seeing Alpha Academy go separate ways, if we were finally seeing Chad Gable and Otis start to become singles wrestlers again and build each other up in a much better way. I don't know. I'm just saying everyone knows the potential that Alpha Academy has, whether it be as a team or as single wrestlers. And I think either way, both wrestlers would do great, whether they're working together or they're not working together. And I want to see them get more screen time. I want to see them actually be used properly. We also saw Mustafa Ali take on Bronson Reed. And Mustafa Ali, he had some good spots. He had some good moments, but for the most part, Bronson Reed has been a one-man wrecking crew since his return to WWE. And I mean, I love it. I love it. Bronson Reed is an incredible athlete. He's an incredible wrestler, and he's been, performing so freaking well against everyone. He's taken it to Akira Tozawa. He's taken it to Dolph Ziggler. He's taken it to now Mustafa Ali. He has been virtually unstoppable. And he even confronted Alpha Academy at one point. Could you imagine Otis and Bronson Reed in the ring together? I would love that. Please, Triple H. You know what? I don't I don't do this a lot, but Triple H, if you're listening to this, please make Bronson Reed versus Otis happen. Please, I am begging you. I need that to happen. I am begging you. That match would be incredible. Now, I wasn't going to comment on this, but I will. We also saw backstage after Mustafa Ali's match, Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler and Ali in, backstage exclusives on the YouTube page and stuff, they've been having these moments. They've been having these issues with one another. And Dolph is trying to help him, according to Dolph. Dolph is trying to motivate Mustafa Ali. And Mustafa Ali is making excuses, and Dolph Ziggler's not having them. And Mustafa Ali's not listening to Dolph's teachings, to his advice. And Dolph Ziggler's not having it anymore. And it seems to me as though maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks, but eventually, it seems as though we are going to be getting a singles match between Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler. And I'm going to say this now. I think what should happen is Austin Theory as United States Champion after Elimination Chamber. Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali, whoever wins, gets a shot for the United States Championship at WrestleMania, and that is that big moment that either one of those wrestlers need. Whether it be Mustafa Ali, who really needs it, or Dolph Ziggler, who desperately needs it after an 18-year-long career in the WWE. He needs that. I think everyone can agree that not only he needs it, but we, as fans, we want that. All that being said, though, one way or another, I just want to see something entertaining out of Dolph Ziggler and Ali, because I love both. I think both are entertaining, and I just want to see them be actually utilized properly. Now, we also saw our last segment of the night. We saw Seth Rollins on Miz TV, and surprisingly, he didn't really talk about Elimination Chamber. He didn't really talk about Austin Theory. Instead, he kind of proved everyone's predictions correct. After the Royal Rumble, because Logan Paul eliminated Seth Rollins, many people were saying that at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins was going to fight Logan Paul. Many people were saying Seth Rollins was going to fight Logan Paul at WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins, Mr. WrestleMania himself, the supposed new Mr. WrestleMania, was going to fight Logan Paul, Mr. Hollywood. And well, last night kind of proved that. Seth Rollins, all he did was rant about Logan Paul. All he did was talk about Logan Paul and how he hasn't accomplished anything, how he doesn't deserve to be in the WWE, how he hasn't earned being in the WWE. And I'm not saying he's wrong, but I am saying that it's a little disappointing to see such a great wrestler like Seth Rollins potentially being put in this spot at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, against a guy like Logan Paul. I understand it. I think it's a great headline, but I also think, really? You couldn't give Seth something a little more? I mean, the guy has broken his back day in, day out. He was rated the #1 wrestler in the entire world in the year of 2022. He was ranked #1. And he's gonna potentially fight Logan Paul at WrestleMania? I'm not against it, but I'm not exactly for it either. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, because I genuinely want to know. Where do you stand on this? What is your opinion on this? Because right now, I'm not feeling too good about it. Now, all that being said, though, we also saw an incredible main event, an incredible triple threat match between Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch and Bayley, and it became even more chaotic. We saw Damage Control trying to get involved, which led to every single woman that was in the Elimination Chamber match this Saturday come down to the ring, and they started bare knuckle brawling with one another. And then we saw, Io Sky get involved with Bianca Belair, and it was just pure and utter chaos up until we saw Bianca Belair deliver the KOD using Becky Lynch. She delivered the KOD to Becky Lynch on top of Bayley, who had just got delivered a manhandle slam from Becky Lynch. Bianca Belair getting the victory by pinning Bayley, and neither woman is going to Elimination Chamber, which intrigues me because I can only imagine that means that maybe Becky Lynch and Bayley are going to continue their rivalry a little more. Maybe they'll find another route to WrestleMania, because I think it's safe to say that this WrestleMania, of all WrestleManias, is not going to not have Becky Lynch. It's not going to not have the newly formed team of Damage Control. This is their first WrestleMania as a team. They need this. This is Damage Control's first WrestleMania. They need to be at WrestleMania. All that being said, though, last night was an incredible Monday Night Raw. I loved it. I loved the segments. Again, Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the Seth Rollins and Logan Paul thing that Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot. During that segment, we saw Seth Rollins, him and Miz were kind of going at it, and it turned into Austin Theory attacking Seth Rollins from behind like I had predicted. And then it led to Seth Rollins delivering a stomp to The Miz, because he was pretty much fighting 2-on-1, managed to handle his own for a while, delivered a stomp to The Miz, and then Austin Theory appearing out of nowhere once again, delivering the A-Town down, lifting his United States Championship up high as he stood over Seth freaking Rollins. And honestly, I'm not going to give my full prediction for that match going into Saturday. However, what I can say is, after what we saw last night and what we heard from Seth Rollins talking about Logan Paul and this possible match between him and Logan Paul at WrestleMania, I think it's safe to say Seth Rollins is not winning at Elimination Chamber. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to conclude Monday Night Raw. But let's, kind of turn the tables over. Let's talk about NXT. So tonight we have been confirmed that Jacy Jane is going to talk and discuss why she did what she did to Gigi Dolan last week, which again, I still think was one of the best possible betrayals NXT has done in quite some time. It was so entertaining. It was so emotional. I could feel it in my heart. It made me sad. I think it was a very emotional scene. I loved it. I loved the segment. I love that Bayley was kind of involved in the segment in some way, in some fashion. On top of that, I think Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jane, I think this is only going to elevate their careers. I think this is only going to benefit them. And I want to see the kind of promo that Jacy Jane is going to cut tonight, because I think it's going to really kind of determine where she's going to go from here. Now, on top of that, we also we've got Braun Breaker. Last week we saw Carmelo Hayes beat JD McDonough, which means he's probably gonna go to Stand and Deliver. He's probably gonna fight Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship, and I want to see a face-off between Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes. I want to see a promo cut between these two tonight. I want to see what Braun Breaker's opinion is of Carmelo Hayes, because we've been wanting this match for almost a year, maybe over a year, and we never really got the idea of we never really got the thoughts of Braun Breaker when it comes to his opinion on Carmelo Hayes as a wrestler, as an athlete, that sort of thing. On top of that, we also want to see Ilya Dragunov. Him and JD McDonough, they were chasing one another, and then they were fighting. And I love Ilya Dragunov. I'm so glad he's back. I don't care if it's a backstage segment. I don't care if it's a promo. I don't care if it's a match. I want to see Ilya Dragunov in some fashion tonight at NXT, because he is just one of my all-time favorites. He is so good in that ring. He's so talented. I honest to God genuinely and greatly love and admire Ilya Dragunov as the professional wrestler that he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude tonight's episode. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.